Hello guys, and welcome back to another new car. I must admit, sometimes I outdo myself, because in this case I didn't even know this kind of car existed. I had no idea, but one thing on a photograph that somehow triggered my attention to look at it. I just want to apologise at the beginning here. It's been a while since I've done any more recent videos. As you know, I've had a very busy time. I've been away on holiday. I've got a very busy month coming up in the month of July. So unfortunately, this is how it's going to be. I have got a family holiday vlog. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you are interested in it, watch it. I've got a bit of editing to do with that. Latest videos, I've just released the Saab one. I hope you all like that. I've got a load of content to upload on that. But I want to just, before we do this, guys, I've just clicked over 4,000 subscribers, so I want to thank each and every one of you very, very much. But I have been onto my statistics of the channel, and it shows a very small percentage of people who are actually watching my videos regularly are actually subscribed. So it would mean the absolute world to me. I know all these YouTubers beg for this and beg for that. Please, if you're not subscribed, just hit the subscribe. Even if you're not registered to YouTube, it'll take you 2 minutes just to add an account. It'll benefit you anyway, not just for me, for anything else you watch. And hit the subscribe, guys. Make a massive, massive difference. I would love to try and get some decent numbers, get some decent revenue coming in, and start doing some of this stuff for a bit of fun. But what I keep reminding people is, this is all my own money. I make 9 times out of 10, I barely make anything. I'm lucky. I just pass things on to my customers and friends to help them out. It's very, very little, like nothing. But I would love to be able to do a challenge to say, let's see if we can drive from John O'Groats to Land's End. I know loads of people have done it, but I'm sure some of you would like to see me do it. But unfortunately, I've got a young family, I've got a mortgage to pay, I've got everything. I can't just do all these mad things. I've been watching these people, they're driving to Benidorm and back and stuff like that. I'd love to do it. Can't do it. Can't afford it. But maybe one day when I hit some decent figures, maybe. But that's why, in case you're all wondering, where's the weekly vlogs gone, Dan? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? Guys, this is a bit of fun. Until it becomes apparent that it's, what's the word? It comes before work in my private life, then maybe. But at the moment, it's just a nice little bit of income to go towards some of these little projects and little bits and bobs I need to do with the vehicles. I'm talking very little amounts here. But yeah, please, it would be fantastic. Minimum I ask, please, hit the subscribe, hit the like. That takes a millisecond, and if you have got anything to say, leave a comment. It really does help. And like I've said, if you do want to go the extra mile, which a lot of you do, and I'm very, very appreciative of it, as you know, I give a lot of people advice outside of YouTube on Facebook, as a Facebook page, Car Addict Garage Northeast, and I help any questions you've got, fire away. I've even been sat on my sunbed at Mallorca with my family, giving people advice, but I don't mind, because then people always help me out. There's a link below. Buy me a coffee, super thanks. It all helps an absolute mint. But that's going a step above. I do not expect that from anybody whatsoever, only if you feel like it. But definitely hitting the subscribe, guys. Come on, help us out. I'll give you this content for free. I could be going home now. It's 6:30. I've still got another job to do. I've still got all sorts of other stuff to do, but I'm doing this purely for use. I'm getting this car. I don't need to do this. I'm taking this time up to give you guys a little bit of content if you want to watch it or not. I don't know. Well, you obviously are if you're watching this. So anyways, I've got no intention of wanting another car. I've got my Saab. Love it. Not parting with that one. Not yet anyways. But Holly's got her eye on it. So I think if I do choose to get something else I'm going to use on it as a daily, I think it might be the Astra getting sold, and she wants that, because she had a little drive of it the other day and she loves it. It absolutely flies. It does 60 miles per gallon, ice cold aircon, cruise control, looks the part, love it. I would recommend any of you guys, if you can pick a cheap Saab Aero estate up, 1.9 TID, get it, but just be careful, because you will have to do the work that I've done. But once you've done that, you've got a well sorted car. Anyways, not about that. I was just sitting there and I seen this car. A few little things first, just to tease you. You'll know what it is anyway, because it's on my cover photo. It's a small Super Mini, which has got a compartment under the parcel shelf to put your suit in. Yes, to put your nice pressed suit in. I didn't think it was. What it was, I'm not going to lie, it's a Renault Clio. It's everyday Renault Clio. But the one thing that stood out to me, I looked at it in a picture, we'll come round and I'll show you, and it just looked like a normal Clio. but I had 172, 182 headlamps, xenon headlamps with headlamp washers. See guys, headlamp washers have saved the day, because if I hadn't have been a headlamp washer guy, I wouldn't have looked twice at this car and I would have just passed on it like that, gone. Wouldn't have even took a second look. I'll explain now. There we go. A lot of yous will be looking at that going, just looks like a normal Clio. Oh, but it's not. It's definitely not, guys. Trust me on this one. Yeah, it's not your average one, is it? Because it's a very, very limited run. But guys, my dyslexia trips me up here. I haven't spoken to enough people about this to even know how it's pronounced. It's a Initiale. And if you look closely at the bottom, it's got Paris. Very limited edition one, these. Basically, this is a Renault Clio with every single possible optional extra you can possibly have as standard already fitted. The only thing that was one option you could get with one of these was factory fitted sat nav or not. This hasn't got that, but when you get an option list for a car, okay, there's normally hundreds. Even if you got a top of the range car, there's usually still quite a list of options you can add to it. There's only one. And this is all thanks to Mark Parr. Thank you very much. He's helped me out with a lot on here, giving us information. And I've said if he wants to do a review of this car, he's more than welcome to. So I'll be more than willing to let him do that if you're watching this, Mark. Right, anyways, so there's only one option. That's how high spec it is. Basically, you can't. The few things that this car lacks, you simply can't or could not get it. Simple as that. So anyways, let's just go around what it is. So obviously it's a facelift Mark II Clio. Straight up I straight away noticed headlamp washers. That's strange on a very basic looking Clio. And yes, they need a little bit of a clean up. Xenon, by Xenon headlamps. Well, you know me guys, if a car's got headlamp washers and by Xenons, I'm sold. But anyways, this is a very limited run. I've spoke to specialists who know about these, and they've only ever seen a handful of them, and they've all been automatic. But this isn't. This is manual. It's a 1600 16 valve. So in a car this size, pretty quick. Good enough to what you need it to be, put it that way. I think they did a 2 litre, obviously, which was in the Clio Sports and stuff, but a 1600 in a car this size, well more than enough. And from the outside, there's not a great deal. There's not a massive amount that jumps out. For me, definitely headlamp washers immediately. That just stands out like a sore thumb. And these wheels, I've never seen them. Bearing in mind, guys, the reg, 52 plate, 2002 car. It's well over 20 years old, this. It's not an 06 or a 55 or a 07. I know they ran these right up with about a 10. Clio Canvas or something they called them. There's nothing written on the back, if you notice. Nothing about it being a 1.6. Just a small little badge on the side. But like I said, I love it how it's underlaid as Paris at the bottom. It's a very, very small number of these cars sold, and I don't know what the colour is, but it's absolutely beautiful. But it's absolutely filthy, so I can't wait to get a layer of ceramic wax on this car, ceramic coating, because it's a lovely pearlescent, I don't know, green, grey. It's also purple and stuff in it. It's a rather grey day, but when the sun hits it, I would imagine absolutely pops. It's got the heat reflective windscreen, as you can see. I don't know if the camera picks that up. It's like a different colour. Rain sensing wipers, light sensing lights, even the old tax disc on it, which I'm going to leave in place. I know it's all very faded, but it's going to get left. But yeah, from the outside, that's pretty much all that it kind of stands out to me. A couple of things I'm going to do on the outside. A cracked fog lamp down here, and what you used to be able to get years ago was these quite cheap Valio ones. We'll see. I'm going to try and clean these up without being too aggressive on them. Again, it's a standard Clio 172, 182 lamp, might be able to get them. But I will say those cars are absolutely smashing it in value, the sports ones. So on that note, guys, what do you think this car's worth? I've got really no idea of value. I just stumbled across it and that was it. So leave a comment below. What do you think it's worth? Do you know anything about these cars? Do you know approximately how many numbers were made? But I believe this could possibly want to be the only ones at least left, not mind made, that's a manual. Definitely. So yeah, so from the outside, pretty much is what it is. I'm trying to find some distinguishing features to say, but there isn't. It just looks like a normal Clio. Yeah, no fancy exhausts, normal sized, other 15-inch alloys. Oh, speaking of that, I haven't looked for that yet. I need to ask the question. I probably will be there. lock and wheel nut things on these. But yeah, apart from that, from the outside, unless you get to the front end and you see those headlamps which stand out like a sore thumb to me to let us know that something's different on it in headlamp washers, that's pretty much it. But this is where the differences very much end. So let's have a look. Just straight away when we open this back door, you're greeted with some very, very different non-Renault Clio like proper, I will say proper Alcantara and real, what I feel definitely and smells real leather. And I've just marked that seat with my dirty hands, so we're not going to be going touching things too much. So yeah, those seats, look at those. This is something you would expect to find in a Megane or a Laguna, not a little dinky Renault Clio. Leather stitched door cards in a Clio, and these will all be straight. We go, oh, windy windows in the back, Dan. Yes, that's correct. That's how these come, because you could not get electric windows in the back of one of these. It was never made like that. It wasn't even an option. The harness system was never built like that. So therefore, there's two odd things on this car which I'm not quite, to say they've put every spec on it, to have windy windows in the back, that's about the only thing. It's even got a tinted back window as well. These did have a very tinted back window, and I love the curve in the glass. I always like the back end of these. It looks fantastic. So yeah, that's the only thing, was that we had carry on with it not having a, electric back windows. But then again, it is just a Clio and it's got so much spec, but when you get a good look at these seats, they are pretty much immaculate. Proper original Renault mats which go over the transmission tunnel. It doesn't have obviously it's not rear wheel drive. But just going to the back for a minute here. So I want to show you guys this. Nothing really of interest here, is there? Obviously it's got a light in the boot. In fact, while we're on this subject, we'll have a quick look. Is it there? Is it not? Something missing there. I will have to look for that separately when I'm obviously off video. I'm not quite sure what that is either. Don't know if that relates to anything. Anybody could tell us? Yeah, so does anything really stand out here? I seen it when I looked at the car. I didn't really think anything of it. It's got a zip. What is it? Well, it's for these posh Frenchmen who have a top luxurious car. It's somewhere to put your suit. And it's even got a wooden board in the bottom to put your pressed suit in there and zip it up, and it keeps all the dust, all the mess, doesn't allow it to get creased. That's cool. That's cool. I've not seen that before on a car, ever. That, to me, is what straight away gets my attention to the car. It might be something I'll never use, because I don't carry suits, but hey-ho. The only issue it's got is that has come slack, and it just needs tightened up. So it just affects the boot from closing a little bit. You've got to give it a little bit more of a slam to what I would want to, but I'll sort that out. So yeah, so that's that. We'll open the bonnet, we'll have a quick look under the bonnet, and we'll get to a few of our little things. So straight away when I open this door, those little lights, fantastic, built into the door. You don't get that on a normal Clio. Little touches like that. Even the glass that's in it, they've made a bit of effort to make it classy. Wood, yes guys, wood. I've already spoilt the surprise now by opening the door. Wood in a Clio. Real metal handles, leather stitched door cards, and again lovely, yeah. Brandon on point. I love that. Again, the only thing I noticed was a slight bit of dampness under here. Don't worry, that is actually stuff that's spilt, not like mould or nothing. So the only thing I am going to look at on the sunroof is the usual bits where they can leak. So that's about the main issue I've got. But it's certainly not wet by any means in here, just ever so slightly damp. But when you get a look at those seats, man, they're so good. So good. The real issues I've got is the headlining has drabbed a little bit on it. Again, just look at the back here. You don't get this on normal Clios. Little lights in the back for the rear passengers. I am going to get somebody to look at the headlining. I'm no good with stuff like that, so I'm simply not going to touch it if it's going to be reasonable money. We shall see. Let's have a quick look in here. I'm hoping the lock and wheel nut is somewhere on it. But yeah, I'll open the bonnet and I'll show you. So under here, it's pretty much the usual. Or is it? I'm just trying to get my fingers into that. No, it's not your usual, because it's got a 1600 16 valve. You usually find this in the Megane, Laguna, not in a Clio. So yeah, that's nice. Timing belt, you may ask? Yes, it was done at Renault for over £800 in 2016. Technically getting near due on age, but on miles, it's not even done 10,000 miles. Sorry, but I can't. Well, if somebody happens to be interested in the car and they want to do it, they can. I'm not. It's got a new battery on. I've ordered up a service kit for it. Probably won't need done. Excuse me, I had a fly on my hand. An air filter, spark plugs, oil and filter, pollen filter, and a fuel filter. So yeah, pretty much standard under there, as I like to see it. And yeah, like I said, this isn't doing the car justice, because I don't know if you can quite see, but it's absolutely covered in a layer of dust. So once this gets a good polish on it, it will look bang on, absolutely bang on. So yeah, coming to the driver's door, again, wood, leather, wood. Yes, that is cruise control. Trust this, for a Renault Clio, bar the sport ones and stuff, you don't get that. It's got cruise control and a speed limiter. Better again, no headlamp levelling, because it's got bi-xenons. Wood on the steering wheel, wood. Again, branding on point. Lovely. And when you get in, it just feels... The only thing I've got is the Alcantara. Naturally, this seat's been used more. There's a bit of a hole there. And this, I believe, can be trimmed up. So I'm going to take it to an upholsterer, which is not something I normally do, and get that looked at. Try and tidy that up a little bit. It's not that bad. And mainly get that headline looked at. So when we're in here, we'll sit down. I've just got to be careful because I've got my work gear on. Lovely sunblind with a tilt and slide electric sunroof. You've got your sensor, like I've mentioned, a tinted windscreen. And when you're in here, it really is a nice place to be. That's aftermarket, unfortunately. Probably changed a long time ago. Nothing I can do about it. So I'll just switch the car on. So it's got climate control, aircon. I believe it works. I haven't actually fully tried it, but it did feel cold before. So we've got lovely climate control system, which is quite rare on the Clio. Yeah, that's aftermarket. And the screen up there, I'm not sure if the little light's gone on it or something, or if the dashboard's been turned down. But again, I've done these before in the past. They just lift off and I can change a bulb in there, and obviously that's got the outside temperature on. And up here, a little fan I notice is blocked for the climate control. I'm going to blow that out and put some lubricant in there, dry lubricant, to sort that out. So yeah, it's just all the stuff you don't expect to find, like a wooden gear stick. But this is the big thing. I believe nearly every single one of these was automatic. It's nice to see that this is a manual. Only 86,000 mile. Get a nice classy dashboard. We'll put the cruise control on. We'll click the switch. There we go, green. Then it'll turn to amber for the speed limiter. Not something you got on cars of this era. And again, the steering wheel, it's a Clio Sport steering wheel, believe it or not. You've got your cruise control, resume, off. That's your main switch down there. So yeah, that's lovely to have. So it doesn't need a great deal, this car. Not a great deal at all to be done, but it is really something special. Now what I am going to do now, I'm going to just go into the workshop and I've got something to show you with it. Yes, I just want to show you some of the history, which is truly outstanding. So first up, I love that. I love how someone has really took the time. They've been taken to genuine Renault dealerships up until 2018. As you can see, it Renault, alternator replaced, 75,000 mile. It's only got 80 something on. Starter motor. Must mean starter replaced battery, starter motor, and alternator. New Year's Eve, 2018. Brake fluid changed, cam belt replaced, 70,000. It's only got like 80 something on now. Brake disc. Yeah, so that line through that must obviously mean as well. So new battery, new starter motor, an alternator, battery, brake fluid, cam belt. Done. Brake discs, brake pads replaced, headlamp motors replaced. Renault, them HID headlamps, factory fitted by Xenons, trust us, that won't have been cheap for them headlamp motors. Car tax due, MOT, car insurance, car purchased, everything has been written down. Even the books here, there's a couple of stamps missing, but where the stamps are missing, everything's there. So I'm not going to obviously show it's got all like the security codes there, the lock and wheel nut code, which is good if I can't find it. But yeah, when I get into this, there's a few missing, but where they're missing, there's paperwork to back it up. All Renault. Note the date here though, 17. And the car's hardly been used these last, relative years. And the ones that are missing, there's documents to back them up. All the full book pack, all the hand owner's manuals, both keys. Don't know where I've put the other key. But both keys, these are very expensive. There, both there, correct, present and working. Logbook. It's only got 4 keepers. I'm just going to keep that out the way for the moment. But yeah, all of this, pages and pages and pages and pages of history. Like I've said, look at this, cam belt. I'm just going to pause it. I just want to put the key over the guy's name. Genuine Arnold Clark Renault. All done at what was the miles? 70,000. It's only got 80 something on. It's not even done 20,000 mile. Replace time belt kit, auxiliary belt due to age and mileage. Also replace idler pulley. Water pump due to excess plain bearings. Jarring stripped down. Also water pump and starting the leak. Rebuild and recheck with road test. But when I go down here, it's got exhaust brackets, washer cap, anti-roll bar bush. That'll be for the defacers. That's a big job. Got a core plug in the engine when they've been in there. Changed the core plug. I don't know if you guys know what a core plug is, but that's not a 2-minute job to do on a lot of vehicles. That'll have been behind all the timing belt, I bet. There's the water pump. All genuine Renault parts, not shite. £814. And this just went on and on and on, page after page. The reason I'm doing this, and has piles and piles and piles and piles and piles of service history, work done, you name it, it's all there. Now I think I've hit onto an absolute little gem here. What's your opinions on it? I can't believe that. I didn't expect that. I've even looked underneath, it's got the original cat. That's worth money. I know you guys might be like, well, who cares? But I do, I care, because I know it'll walk through its emissions. It's even got MOT until November. Like I've mentioned, that is a creaking and cracking noise when you're turning the steering. I think it could be possibly a broken spring, strut top, but nothing I can't sort. Like I said, I'm going to give it a service. Stuff I can't sort, like the roof line and the seat, I'm going to see a price of a guy who Chris knows down Middlesbrough way, and we'll go from there. So let's finish the video where it started, shall we? I know what you're thinking. I don't know if you've guessed. But yeah, I'm not joking you. The only reason when I was scrolling through adverts, I stopped and looked twice at this car is I knew it just looked like a bog standard Clio, and I was like, why has it got headlamp washers? I didn't even quite see the headlamps. I just seen the headlamp washers. Awkward, backwards and reverse doing my hand like that. So, since the car's minging anyway, and I'm just putting it in the garage and going home, where I need to finish off that other job, shall we do a headlamp washer moment? They might not even work. I don't even know if the screen wash works. But we'll give it a try. In fact, we're going to give nothing a try because I've left the key, but the other key's in the garage. So, we shall switch on the ignition, open the window. So you've got to be quick. Got to be quick if you want a headlamp washer moment, guys. We'll have a look before we do it at the Xenons. When that's coming towards you at night, that does not look like your average Renault Clio, does it? No. Looks like a Clio Sport. Yeah, that's a proper little classy looking bit of kit. I will say myself, I love it. What do you guys think? Yeah, so let's see. So you've got the lights on, we've got the ignition on. We just need to pull for the screen wash and try not to get myself soaked. You guys are in shot. Let's see. Do the work. Possibly not. Who knows? No, I don't know if they're working. That's disappointing. I heard a motor go. Yep, and some water came out. But I do believe that somebody has messed around with these a little bit. So, that's a job I'm going to look into. I've got a feeling, because the tank sits on there on those, it'll be clogged. Yeah, so like I've said, there is water coming out, but I don't like the angle of that's going up like that. I think they just need adjusted somehow to point that way. Bit like that one, that's how you want it. And that's not. So what I am going to do on another day is just get the pipe from the back and blast them through. They're more than likely just blocked, because there wouldn't be water coming from there, and I can hear the motor going with the expensive bit. So, a little bit disappointing on that, but we can't have it all, can we? So, let us know what you think. I am just going to switch these lights off in the ignition in case I flatten the battery. Let us know what you think. Do you think it's a good car? Do you think it's a bad car? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Would you be interested in it? Because I have possibly acquired myself some new storage on the basis of where I store the ZX. Like I've mentioned, the lady's put the house up for sale. But if that doesn't go through, if she decides not to sell or it doesn't sell, I've got 2 garage spaces. So happy days. I'll keep the ZX in one, keep the Clio in the other. But if that house does sell, I need that storage down there over the winter for the ZX. I'm not sure I want to run that through the winter. But then again, why not? It's an everyday car. But actually, the way I look at it, that's more rare than the ZX. That car, you guys tell me out there if you're specialists. I have been speaking to specialists, but the fact it's a manual as well, is super, super rare. I apologise, I can't pronounce the word. I'll have to hear somebody say it, because I haven't. I've just looked at it. And like I said, when you're dyslexic, it's quite difficult sometimes to get your head around queer looking words like that to put together. To some people, it's no bother. To me, it's not. But yeah, let us know what you think. Please leave a comment below. And like I've already mentioned at the beginning of the video, hit the subscribe, man. Just hit the subscribe if you haven't done it. Help me out a little bit. I do all this for yous. Help me out a little bit. Hit the subscribe, please. It will massively help things. So, I'll catch you all on another video. I am going to be getting on with some work on this car tomorrow, so I might even do, well, not tomorrow, if I get 2 minutes tomorrow evening, I might do a few little jobs on it. We'll see. So I'll catch you all soon, and thank you very much for watching.